WebMD tells us that people have been brewing and fermenting alcoholic drinks since the dawn of civilization. That people have consumed moderate amounts and found it to be relaxing. And in recent years, people have found there to be benefits for heart health. But if alcohol is consumed in excess, it can be a poison to our bodies, and actually, it's considered a drug at this point. It is estimated that 1 in 12 adults in the United States are chronic alcoholics. Nearly 100,000 Americans die each year as a result of alcohol abuse. It's the factor in more than half the country's homicides, suicides, and traffic accidents, and it plays a major role in social and domestic problems from absenteeism at work or spouse and child abuse. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, once a person is in the habit of taking a substance, it's been shown to change brain chemistry. That can get in the way of someone's ability to make decisions, and it can make someone crave and seek out substances more. This cycle, if it's not interrupted, easily turns into addiction. The tricky thing about alcohol use disorder is that its symptoms are not easily recognized until the affected person becomes truly alcohol dependent. Substance use disorder, according to the DSM-5, occurs in a broad range of severity from mild to severe, and it's based on the number of symptom criteria endorsed. These severities can change whether frequency or dose is increased or decreased over time, and this is assessed by the individual's own report of knowledgeable others, clinical observations, or biological testing. Criteria 1 through 4 in the DSM-5 have to do with the individual taking the substance in larger amounts or over a longer period of time than was originally intended. Criteria 5 through 7 have to do with social impairment, and the recurrent substance use may result in a failure to fulfill a major role of obligation, whether at work, school, or home. Risky use of the substance is the third grouping criteria, which is 8 and 9. This may take the form of recurrent substance use in situations which is physically hazardous. Criteria 10 and 11 have to do with the pharmacological criteria, and this is all surrounding the tolerance and withdrawal that occurs over time. According to the DSM-5, an important characteristic of substance use disorders is an underlying change in brain circuits that may persist beyond detoxification. Behavioral effects in the brain changes may be exhibited in repeated relapses and in intense drug cravings when the individual is exposed to drug-related stimuli. Overall, diagnosis of a substance use disorder is based on pathological pattern of behaviors related to the use of the substance. According to WebMD, alcohol use disorder can be caused by a blend of genetic, physical, psychological, environmental, or social factors. Genetic factors are considered to be crucial, though. A person's risk of becoming an alcoholic is 3 to 4 times higher if a parent is an alcoholic, although some people have been able to overcome heredity by not drinking alcohol at all. Maybe you or someone you know drinks more or longer than they plan to, have tried to cut back more than once and couldn't. Maybe they spend a lot of time drinking and they really can't think of anything else. They could have problems at work, school, or with family because of their drinking. If they keep drinking even though it's causing problems with a relationship or have quit activities that were important to them, they could have a problem. It's especially important to seek help if you're finding that you have withdrawal symptoms, such as trouble sleeping, shakiness, restlessness, nausea, sweating, a racing heart, or seizure. WebMD recommends that if you do find yourself having these withdrawal symptoms, don't try to quit drinking cold turkey on your own. It can be very dangerous. It's best to seek help. You can ask your doctor, or you can contact some of the information links that I will give you at the end of this presentation. Keep in mind that a serving of alcohol is 12 ounces of a regular beer, 8 to 9 ounces of a malt liquor, and 1.5 ounces of brandy or 80 proof distilled spirits. But alcohol use disorder isn't just about how much you drink, it's about how often, what the effects are, and what happens when you try to cut back. According to WebMD, the treatment for alcohol use disorder is abstinence. Among alcoholics with otherwise good health, support, socially, and motivation, the likelihood of recovery is good. Approximately 50 to 60 remain abstinent at the end of the year's treatment, and a majority of those stay dry permanently. However, those with poor social support, poor motivation, or psychiatric disorders tend to relapse within a few years of treatment. For these people, success is measured by longer periods of abstinence, reduced use of alcohol, better health, and improved social functioning. According to NAMI, there's not just one right way to get sober. There's a lot of treatment options. There's prescribed drugs that can ease the withdrawal and reestablish normal functions for a person. There's treatment facilities where you can stay to help you during withdrawal. There's outpatient behavioral treatment programs that you can visit for help changing your habits. There's also social support like family, friends, and community organizations. NAMI recommends speaking to your healthcare provider to get an expert to supply you with integrated care. It's important to seek your health needs from different angles, whether psychological or substance related. You may not have health insurance and be wondering how you can receive treatment. There are publicly funded treatment centers that are available. To get a listing of these in your state, you can visit the above web address or you can call the 1-800 number. Self-help groups can be a key to recovery. They are a place where people can share their frustrations, successes, and you can get referrals for specialists. It's a great place to be, but just make sure that any self-help program that you join respects and understands your individual recovery needs. If you're seeking the most effective treatment in a facility for yourself or someone you care about, be sure to find a place where treatment is interactive. Goals should be done together, that way you're more likely to follow the goal. And you should also have a strong aftercare program that promotes a long-lasting recovery. The skills and strategies that you learn in treatment will be combined with an effective aftercare program that minimizes the risk of relapse. NAMI.org provides a link for online screening, which helps a person decide if they think it's time to seek help for their substance use. WebMD does recommend that you seek professional help for your alcohol use disorder if you have an underlying issue of anxiety or depression, or if you are in those later stages where withdrawal is something that is affecting you. If you're trying to learn to live without alcohol on your own, WebMD says that it's important to avoid people and places that make drinking a norm. You need to find people to help you, whether a self-help group or seeking non-drinking family and friends. But you should replace your negative dependence on alcohol with a new positive dependence, such as a hobby or volunteer work. And start exercising. It releases chemicals in the brain that's a natural high. Remember that there's many ways to get sober. Not one path is right. Just make sure you choose the path that you feel is going to be right for you. Thanks for checking out my presentation on alcohol use disorder. Here are my references.